Hey everybody. So, a little while ago I posted a video about my new T-Rex from Homer Zoo Custom Made. And I quickly went over the knife and some of the features that I first observed, and turns out I had gotten some details wrong. So, after speaking to Homer, he's explained to me some of the details that I missed or might have gone wrong. Well, first, this is a bag of extra hardware that Homer sent. There are titanium screws as well as stainless screws in here, and the standoffs, pivot bushing, and lanyard tube, which is that. These are heat anodized, and these are plain, and these screws are also heat anodized. These are the titanium screws, and there's also another set of titanium screws over here in addition to stainless steel ones. I think they're black oxide coated probably. So, in my previous video I had mentioned that it looked like it had washers, that it was riding on washers, but as Homer pointed out, it is caged ceramic bearings, which is pretty cool, especially for a knife like this. And a lanyard tube, who uses a lanyard tube? Spyderco does, and Homer Zoo does. I think that's a pretty good feature on there. Pretty cool touch. It's got shouldered standoffs, so they don't just sit on the scale, and they are titanium as well as the screws that originally come with them. Oops. The lock bar is cut using wire EDM. That's why the cutout is very thin and flush. And in addition to that, the process also heat hardens the titanium at the lock bar face. I don't know if that's gonna be hard, like super hard compared to, well, it's not gonna be as hard as having a lock bar insert, but I think for this VG10 blade, it should be fine. It's it's a little, well, it's a little beefy tank of a knife, and as Homer mentioned it to me, these screws, you have to be careful putting them together and make sure your bit fits in there tight. Like this bit is pretty snug on here, and it fits perfectly with no play. Same thing with this. These are Weeha bits. That's no play on there. These are Weeha bits that I'm using with a skill, I guess, handle. Oh, and one thing I failed to mention before was that this milled titanium clip is secured on the other side by blind screws, 3 blind screws. So that's gonna be a really secure way of attaching the pocket clip. And I really love this little knife. I hope that clears up some of the details I got wrong, but I think once you get your hands on one of these, you're gonna see really how well this is made. You can't go wrong. I mean, it's sort of like a little, it's a no-brainer to get this little tank of a knife if you're into, you know, customs. titanium hardware, titanium screws, titanium standoffs, milled pocket clip. It also serves as an over travel stop because the clip stops the lock bar from traveling too much farther when you unlock it. VG10 blade, hardened to 6061 as per Homer. It rides on cage ceramic bearings, and it does. Oh, I did use this quite a few times since I've gotten it. I used it to cut a steak because I forgot to bring a longer knife with me to the restaurant one time. I've used it to break down a couple of packaging boxes that had really thick cardboard on there. I actually did a no-no and pried a big staple out with this, but this is a pretty beefy tip. Even though it's got a high flat grind on there, not a full flat grind, but a high flat grind, and it's swedged, it's still pretty beefy, and it pried out a staple handily with no evidence of it being used that way. But yeah, Homer Zoo, follow him at Homer Zoo on Instagram. He's also on Facebook. This is a cool certificate of authenticity, I guess. Got the birthday on there for my knife, serial number 22. We got 21, 22, and 23. Myself and two of my buddies went in on this. And do check him out. I tied this little lanyard. I think it matches closely enough. So this is gonna be part of my little big knife collection. Among that are a Curtis F3 Compact, DPX Heat in titanium, Emerson Mini 100. It's slowly becoming a big part of my collection and EDC rotation is to have a little knife with me that's, unobtrusive in the pocket. This fits nicely in your watch pocket of your jeans. It's a little heavy, if you want to put it inside your pocket, it's going to print, it's going to show. But it's a very functional little knife that works really well. Really beefy construction. You won't be disappointed. Flicks easily, smooth. Lockup is nice and tight. No blade plane, nothing. I mean, look how thick these liners, these scales are. This is what I had today. This is a big ass knife. It's an AOD by Daryl Ralph, and this is a big knife. So, just to give you an idea, I wear like a size 14 ring, and this feels great. Feels perfect. Now this, as a much smaller knife, feels amazing with the jimping on top and the bottom. Chokes up very nicely. It's very purposeful in the way you hold it. You get a 4-finger grip on it, choked up. It's a little big knife to the definition. So I hope that kind of addresses all the missed details I had in my previous video. I'm going to send this to Homer, see if it gets his approval this time, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.